Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video with Bach. Today we are doing another King Kong movie. So, we have covered the 1933 original. We have covered the 1933 Son of Kong, which was basically part two of the original, or just an extension of the first one, however you want to put that. Both answers would be correct. We have also covered 1976, I believe that was. This one here I'm holding in my hand. So we've covered this one, 76, King Kong. This movie was the remake to the original. So the one we're talking about today, King Kong Lives, is part two to this original. It's part two to this remake of the original. It's the one movie I actually do not have in my set. It's like, I think the last one that I have to get. But you can watch it for free right now on YouTube. It's literally free. Try and stay awake, I guess. Good luck. Because King Kong Lives, 1986, is the movie, in my opinion, that almost killed the King Kong franchise. Like, almost shut her all down. The first one, the remake there, the 76, it's not bad. It's not horrible. But part two to that, literally part two to that. Like in 76, he climbs the Twin Towers at the end and falls to his death. In the beginning of King Kong Lives, they've got him in this giant hospital they made. They have a new heart they made to put in him. He needs this heart transplant, okay? But they don't have, his blood has kind of gone bad. So if they do this operation, he's gonna die. So wouldn't you know it, this another Jurassic Park kind of character guy goes into the jungle and actually winds up finding another one, which winds up being a female, but they can do the blood transfusion. So that saves Kong. Well, when he wakes up, the first thing he does is smells that female and goes nuts. So they kind of drug him and knock him down, and the female's going crazy too because she can hear him. Now they kind of been like back and forth communicating, right? So when he comes to, Mr. Kong breaks out. He breaks his new girlfriend out, and away they go. They're running around in the wilds of America. And it becomes a huge issue for the military. They're just out for blood. They just want to kill him. Both of them, you know. And of course, so in this movie, the man, the guy, this Jurassic Park dude who goes out and finds the female, King Kong, him and the girl, the nurse, the doctor who's been taking care of King Kong all these years, this is your couple for this movie, right? So I know it sounds good coming from me, but to watch this, it is not, like I say, this very poorly done. It's just maybe to try and make a bit of money, but they did not try and make a good movie like at all with King Kong Lives. Like they just totally didn't try whatsoever for some reason. That's why I think it was the movie that almost killed it. We didn't get another one. This is 1986. We did not get another one until Jack Black. When he remade the original, it started all over again and did a very good job. From there, we went on with like Skull Island and all these new ones. We've got the new Godzilla versus Kong. I have all those movies. Plus, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is doing the two from the 60s. One of those is the original King Kong versus Godzilla. So one of those two movies, that one and King Kong Escapes, are going to be the next ones I cover. But for now, back to King Kong Lives. Like I say, they're running around out in the wilds of America. So there are no great fights scenes for you. There's no dinosaurs. He's not fighting a T-Rex or anything like that. He picks up a big snake at one point. You know, it kind of hisses and it freaks out his girlfriend, and she makes him put it down. And that's about it for any kind of crazy animal scenes. This would be like remember Betsy they were talking about, that big snake in Maine? That's what this would be in North America, like a big almost python-sized North American snake that he somehow found out there, which is probably never see. You'd be like, there's reports of water snakes getting pretty big and stuff. So, okay, it'd be kind of close, right? But more or less harmless, you know, especially to the size of Kong. Like, this thing's just in his hand like nothing, right? It's just this little snake. But yeah, that's it. There is no, like, what are they going to have him fight a grizzly bear? He could just step on it. So there's nothing for him to fight in this movie except the army. And at one point, they recapture his girlfriend and they almost kill Kong. It looks like he's dead. You're not really sure when you're watching the movie. And he floats down the river, but he kind of goes underneath and all this blood comes up. And the river kind of washes him away. And he's hidden off somewhere. And he comes to, and then they start telling the doctor, he can never live out there. He can't keep his protein levels up in a day. Well, he's eating green anyway. Well, him and his wife are out there. They're like taking out whole pine trees and eating them, right? So they were eating anyways, but now he needs protein for some reason. So now we see him killing alligators. And he's picking up these baby alligators, and you can clearly see it's a baby. And then they show a close-up headshot of the alligator looking at him, but it's a full-size gator. So it was very horribly done. Like I say, good luck watching this one. It's still part of the King Kong movies, so you gotta love it, just a little, right? But this one, 9 out of 10, is probably gonna get my worst rating out of any King Kong movie ever. We already know the two from the 60s. We already know not to expect much from those two movies. We know that those are not well done. They're almost, you can get a few more points because they're so badly done, they'll make you laugh. It's almost comical. So they're worth a watch just to laugh. Like, I can't believe these guys were doing all this to make a movie. It's literally insane. But it makes it funny. It makes it interesting. And the costumes were probably almost better than this King Kong Lives, eh? I don't know. That might be kind of a yin and yang thing there. So anyways, carrying on. Kong's out there eating all these alligators, right? Getting his protein levels up, getting his strength back. So the doctor and Mr. Jurassic Park guy break into where the female is, and they discover that she's actually pregnant. And which is weird because, I mean, they were only running around out there for a couple of weeks. They've only known each other for like 2 weeks, so that's pretty quick to have a baby. Unless she was just already pregnant, right? But they make it seem like it was Kong's kid. So, who knows? But anyways, Kong comes back, winds up saving her again, setting her free, right? So away they go, and then we get the big ending, the big grand finale. His wifey, King Kong's wife, Mrs. Kong, she falls into like this big barn, goes crashing through it, and she's laying in the hay and everything, and she's in labor. So she's having a little Kong. She's having a baby. At the exact same time, the army shows up, and these guys are crazy. And so they start shooting him and everything. Well, he goes nuts. Takes out everybody in like 30 seconds, maybe 10. I know at that part of the movie, they had him surrounded. His wife is down in labor. He kind of growls. I looked away for a second. When I looked back over at the TV, the fight was over. There was no one left in the military, and Kong was just like, oh, and he's injured. Now he's dying. And he reaches his hand out, and his son, who's just been born, reaches his hand out, and they touch each other's hand, and it's all emotional and everything, and the girls are all crying. And so then it's a happy ending. They wind up somehow, you don't see it happen or anything, but they go from this with Kong laying there dead and his wifey and the baby and the two doctors, the doctor and the Jurassic Park guy. So the next thing you know, you see these two, the Mama Kong and Little Kong, living way off in like Central America somewhere in a jungle, totally free, living by themselves. They've been put there somehow, some way, and Little Kong is learning how to be Kong. So it leaves you at the end of this movie, like there might be a part 3, right? There might be another part to this movie. That's how it leaves off. Like Little Kong's gonna grow up and become the next Kong, but that's it, end of story. We never get another one. Probably because this one was so bad that they probably didn't make any money because they just did a shit job, literally. So it probably made no money, And they probably said, we're not letting you make another one of those because we'll be spending more than we're making or breaking even, which there's no point in doing that in a movie, right? So that was that. That was the end. Like I say, 1986. Just a little side note there for a personal thing from me. 1986. I remember where I was in like grade 4, grade 5 maybe. But when they made this movie, 1986, exactly 100 years before that, is when they built the church that I go to here. And they built the church, they did a really good job at building the church. 100 years later, when they made this movie, not so good of a job. So that's how that goes. And and the girl, by the way, the doctor in this is Sarah Connors from the, I was going to say Predator, from the Terminator. Sorry, my mind was kind of wandering there. So yeah, Sarah Connors from the Terminator is in this. And I guess, you know, she's kind of a cute girl back in the day. Nothing to write home about if you're going to compare her to like the original Fay Wray. Not at all, right? Even the 76 girl has her beat. The 76 King Kong girl has this Sarah. I don't know what her real name is, that girl. But anyways, overall, it's not the worst movie you're ever gonna watch. If you don't mind watching bad movies, it's not the worst. And like 1 out of 10, I would like to give it a 3. So I'll give it a 3. And I'm very hesitant to give it a 3. So we all know what number it actually is, but I gotta be nice because it's King Kong and I love King Kong, so I'm still gonna give it a 3. Barely. It's kind of hard to do. Anyways, speaking of hard to do, I gotta go watch the next movie, the next King Kong movie, and get ready to make a little crazy story about it for you guys. But like I said, we've covered 4 now. We've covered 4 King Kong movies, and we're still not even halfway. We know that. So next, because I've jumped ahead, right? I went from 1933 to 1976 to 1986. So now we're gonna go back into the 60s, and I'll have to look. I don't know exactly what years in the 60s, but to me, both those movies I guarantee are probably coming from the 60s. That's what they look like, the next 2. And I didn't get I'll get them down and just show you real quick. Hang on, guys. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna look up the dates right now, but there you go. We got King Kong Escapes. I believe I've watched that once. And we have King Kong versus Godzilla, the original. I want to say I watched that once, but I don't really remember it. These movies were both from Christmas for me last year. So I'm actually looking forward to watching them again. And as soon as I do, you guys will hear about it. Because I will definitely be making some kind of movie review on those 2. That's next. From there, we'll start all over again at the beginning with the Jack Black remake. So anyways, you guys all have a lovely night and have a great day tomorrow. Peace and love, and I'll see you on the next King Kong video.